But Will Smith has released a new track called Pretty Girls. He also, and this one actually came out about 2 months ago, he also released a new record called Based on a True Story. We're going to talk about those two things separately. Even though technically Pretty Girls comes from Based on a True Story, there are different animals to be addressed differently. So we're going to get to the specifics of the single song, Pretty Girls. I would have known this sooner had I listened to the record sooner, but he's no longer the Fresh Prince, so that apparently means that he's starting to cuss in his music now. Not that I'm offended at the idea of foul language in my music, no, but like that was his whole shtick. That was the whole reason he made the music he made, is because he was trying to be a better example of an artist for younger people, for, you know, for the crossover crowd. Like there was a number of reasons. The biggest reason why he wasn't using foul, quote unquote, foul language in his music was because he made a promise to his grandma, who I maybe was dying at the time. That might be apocryphal. I might be misremembering that, but something along those lines. She died since, I'm sure. He's also 60 years old, so we're gonna get into that when we get into the record. But it seemed so casual, and then just totally broke the image of who Will Smith is as a musical artist all at once in my head. So I don't know, the track is super mediocre, and that's being generous, I think. Just not the best stuff. It feels like grasping at relevancy. It feels like, well, I'm not getting as many job offers for movies these days because I did a stupid and got myself kind of blackballed in the industry, because we all know why. So, but now he has to make music that sounds just as generic and trash as the rest of the unknown hip-hop world. And I say unknown because, like, to people who don't always listen to that kind of music, like, this just kind of falls in line with the rest of it. It doesn't stand out like it used to for him. So it just leaves a really sour taste in my mouth. And so, elaborating into the larger picture that is the record, the Based on the True Story record, this whole record, by and large, feels like Will Smith grasping at relevancy. There's the one song that's very short. It's more of a skit, but it's still put to, I mean, it still rhymes, and it's still, there's a beat behind it and everything. He's just doing characters and voices and things where they're talking about, it's like barbershop. The video is literally a barbershop where Will is playing all of the roles of the people talking in the barbershop. And that track is the most foul language that he has ever put to tape up until that point, outside of his movie career, obviously. Again, I'm not offended at the idea of foul language in my music. It's just, that's not Will Smith. That is not who that person is. That is not who that artist is. And so for him to just all of the sudden do this is so off-putting. And there's a couple, I did write down a couple of standout tracks. Excuse me. A couple of standout tracks. Hard Times is a standout track. I think that was the only one I wrote down, honestly. There was another one, though. I just can't remember what it was. But listening to this and just kind of going through, like, all of the back catalog for Will Smith, all of the Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince stuff, and then his few solo records that he did before he went full-time into movies, like, that stuff was so uplifting and so fun and was danceable, which is kind of what he was trying to do with the Pretty Girls track, but it didn't really work. But like, and then he after the hiatus from the music scene, he did that freestyle a few years ago with Jazz in his little studio that looked like he has on his property somewhere. And that was amazing as well. Also clean. And like some of the best, like that was one of the best doing what he's good at. And still like standing out from the pack, but in his way that he had before. And this is just, I'm throwing in the towel. I'm just going to sound like everybody else. Like, it's just not good. Anyway, I'm spending way too much time on this. Let's move on.
Psst, hey, so I'm just, passing the word around that, like, if you subscribe, he feeds me a whole goat. I don't know about you, but I like to eat, so do a dragon a favor and click that little button down there, and yeah, it'd be awesome. I mean, we talk about the stuff that you like anyway, like movies and video games and other human things that nerds do. Plus, it costs you basically nothing. All you gotta do is click a button, right? And then I get to feast. It's delicious. So, thanks in advance and stuff, and also, if you comment or you hit the like button, he puts seasoning on it too, so yeah, maybe try that. Either way, let's get back to the show. Okay, bye.